hey, way ya, hey ya, hey la, hey ya, hey ya.
Our people are river people. The Colville, Spokane, Kootenai, Coeur d'Alene, and Kalispell. For centuries, our ancestors paddled the Columbia River to Kettle Falls, our traditional salmon fishing site. Salmon are sacred to us. With the construction of the Grand Coulee Dam in the 1930s, the salmon migration was blocked to the upper Columbia River. The outcome was devastating for our native people. For the past 80 years, no salmon have made it past the Grand Coulee Dam to the upper Columbia River. No salmon have made it back to the Kettle Falls and the people of the upper Columbia River.
My great-grandmother, her name was Aitam, and she was a very powerful lady. She was the granddaughter of Chief John Hermelt. One of the last songs that she left to the family, it's a river song. And I want to share that song here today, that salmon spirit.
For the past 4 years, the Upper Columbia tribes have joined together to paddle traditional dugout canoes on the Columbia River to Kettle Falls, our historic fishing site.
I think about my ancestors that paddled this river before me. To think of the strokes that they took, the route they took, the lands they saw.
The 8-day, 100-mile canoe journey reconnects our people to the water and our traditional ways.
When I'm on that water and I look out on the land, I'm thinking I'm so happy to be back out on this water. It's very spiritual. So you gather things and you feel more, you see more, you do more. When you get tired, something just makes you keep going.
Put a lot of our prayers and a lot of our thoughts into the water. Like every time we paddle, every time we put it into the water, we try to think of important things to us, and it gives us strength to paddle a little bit harder every time.
And just hearing all the sounds that you don't normally hear of whether it's geese or ducks or wildlife, beavers swimming by it, you really get a sense of the life that's in that river. When Native people talk about water is life, that is really what it is about understanding the flow of that water and how it is a part of you. What we need to do to keep it clean, what we need to do to protect those waters.
In 2016, UCA, the Upper Columbia United Tribes, purchased 500-year-old cedar logs from the Quinault Indian Reservation in western Washington. Each of the tribes carved out dugout canoes for that first journey.
And he's like, all right, grab a tool, start chopping. But it went from one just giant tree, and inside of it was a hidden canoe.
Shaving every piece of wood off of that log, it's soothing.
Touching it, being a part of it, and now I think it's a part of me. You might think you know who you are, you might think you understand about yourself, but once you really step into these traditional vessels and you paddle them, you feel a whole different connection. Our connection to the salmon and the river is sacred. The canoe journey parallels our tribal efforts to return salmon to the Upper Columbia.
So starting from here at Grand Coulee Dam was really symbolic. These dams, while they provide a lot of benefit for people in the region, I think it also needs to be in balance so that you can also provide for salmon to get back up into where it needs to be.
It doesn't have to be either or. We can have power production and we can have good, clean, functioning ecosystems that include fish passage. There's no reason with the technologies and the things that are happening today that this can't happen. These issues aren't just tribal issues, they're everybody's issues, and it's going to take everybody to correct those historic wrongs and to do what's right by the river and by the salmon.
At Kettle Falls, hundreds gathered to welcome the paddlers on their final stretch of the canoe journey. There were songs, prayers, and cheers as the dugout canoes were carried ashore. Like our ancestors before us, our tribes gathered at the river's edge for the traditional salmon ceremony. We each picked up 2 stones, clapped them together. This is the language of the salmon. The sound of the rocks mirrors the sound of the rocks moving as salmon spawn, and it tells the salmon downstream they are almost home. As we clap the stones together, we are calling the salmon home.
We are